Welcome to this session. This session is pretty much going to focus on wellness and how we can achieve a better quality of life using pranayama and meditation. So welcome to this session. My name is Michael Ernest Nwah. I like to call myself a wellness creative, but I am a marketing communications professional by day and by night, weekends, and every other chance that I get. I am a yogi. I am a yoga student and teacher. I am also a meditation and mindfulness student, and my practice focuses on wellness, collective wellness, individual and collective wellness. It also focuses on decolonizing practices like yoga and meditation, and creating access and inclusivity to this practice within, amongst and within the people of the African continent and people of African descent. So I think that's the short summary of what I am, who I am, and what I do. And today we will be talking about pranayama and meditation. I think pranayama and meditation are two things that people kind of like sometimes mix them up. And sometimes the word pranayama can feel a bit bogus in a way. So what this session will try to do is to introduce these practices to you, to introduce these practices to you, and for you to also to talk about the benefits and how you can get a better life or better quality of life from these practices. A lot of times we get to, in movies, in real life, when people go through things, or when people are, experiencing a moment or a season of difficulty, we hear things like breathe, just breathe, breathe. And it might sound cliche or trite in a way, but it really works. It's something that actually really, really works. It's something that that science, it's been a practice that has been handed over from ancient generations to the present moment. And it's something that has worked over time for people across different, the origin of the practice can be the practice, the culture itself can be traced back to certain roots and origin, but it's something that mankind and humanity has used over time. We see even in movies during childbirth, in a lot of spheres of our lives, we get to use the most basic thing, which is our breath. And of course, we get to also achieve that sense of calmness, that sense of serenity, and that sense of decluttering with our mind with meditation. There is a quote, or there is a saying that I like, that your mind is the most important home that you own or that you have. So you need to take care of your mind. Picture you living in a space or in a room that is a mess. I'm in my room actually, and my room is a mess. But picture living in a space that is it's complete chaos, where shoes are everywhere, clothes are everywhere, and everything. It's distracting. So envision if your mind is doing the same thing. If your mind and if your head and inward, your inward being is all over the place, because generally it will be all over the place until you take a conscious effort to arrange it, just like your room. You take a conscious effort with certain practices or with certain rituals to put it in order, to arrange it. So the practice of meditation and pranayama pretty much does this. I'm going to define what meditation is, what pranayama is, and we're going to practice a bit of both. We're going to practice some pranayama and some meditation. And when we practice, you will notice and see the difference. But before we start, I wanted to pretty much give a definition of what pranayama is and meditation. I have my notes. Sorry, I made some notes. I'm going to be reading from the notes on what this practice represents. And then, of course, I'm going to share a couple of highlights on the benefits of this practice to your physical being. Of course, they are spiritual benefits. They are benefits in various ways: physical benefits, emotional benefits, mental benefits, spiritual benefits. But I will be focusing on in some of the benefits, on the health benefits and physical benefits. So please stay with me, and once again, welcome to this session. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you've taken out the time to be here, a time to pause, a time to take care of yourself, or to seek how you can achieve a better quality of life. So thank you for joining. A bit of a heads up is I have a little cold, so I might sneeze. Don't worry, I'm okay. It's probably my allergies. So in case I sneeze or I cough or something, just know that I'm still here. And the beauty of yoga or meditation, mindfulness, is that it's not always perfect. It's life. It can be messy. And how we navigate uncertainty and messiness, and how we can use pranayama and meditation to navigate all of that, also adds to our quality of life, how we navigate through all of the messiness, because life will always happen. We will always be busy, or there are times that we will be busy. We will always have challenges. We will always have to deal with difficult situations. And the practice of meditation and pranayama can help you navigate those moments of uncertainty, those moments of challenges. So welcome. Quick definition of pranayama is, think of it as a breathing activity. The short definition of pranayama, pretty much, if you think of the word pranayama, just think of extension or expansion of breath. Most of the time when we breathe, we take really shallow breaths. Pranayama is an activity, is an exercise for you to extend and lengthen your breath, and for you to actually be in the moment and just breathe. Today I was in a training, a yoga teacher training, and the instructor said something that really resonated with me, that the first sound that we make as humans is the sound of our breath. I felt that I really resonated, and I felt like that was such a profound thing, that the first music, the first sound that a child makes is that of breathing, even before crying. So I want us to have that in mind, that the breath is so powerful and is such a powerful tool, and pranayama helps us harness and helps us tap into what we presently have, what is inherent, what we came with. Helps us tap into that to make life better for us, and to make the journey of life better for us. So the term, there are two words in the word pranayama. So prana and yama. So prana is the life force. Remember when I said that your breath is like your life force? It is your life force, not even like, it is your life force. And then ayama means control. So breath control, extension of breath control. There are so many kinds of pranayama and so many different variations that more or less addresses different things and different aspects of the body, of the physical body, and of course of the mind. Whether it's whether we want to achieve like an energizing mind or an energizing body, there are certain pranayama techniques that we can do to be energized. Whether we want a cleansing sequence or a cleansing we need some sort of cleansing of the mind, of the body, there are certain pranayama practices that we can incorporate. So today we will be really working with an energizing practice. So the practice that we're going to have today will be energizing. And we will use two major breathing techniques today, which I will explain in a moment. So pranayama harmonizes and balances the body with the brain. It brings an individual into a space that is rehearsed well. So pranayama is breathing activities which cause us to have to control over our breath. Pranayama encourages us to have control and straightforward breath that does not falter with feelings. Pranayama is the investigation of breath, and it precedes meditation. Pranayama is one of the ways to accomplish meditation. So you can find pranayama in a meditation practice. While meditation, on the other hand, it comes after pranayama, or it can be a part of pranayama. Meditation is considered pranayama and asana, which is like the yoga poses that we see, are considered external layer of the practice. While the meditation itself is an internal step of clearing cognition. I'll take that again. Pranayama and physical yoga asanas are considered external layers, and they are really, really external. And meditation is internal, and it helps us achieve, it clears our cognition. It helps us achieve, mindfulness. It helps us achieve a sense of clarity, a sense of decluttering. Remember what I said about your room being a mess and you having to sort those things? That's what meditation does. So meditation is a conscious effort / exercise in focusing and concentrating the brain on something, or a conscious personality without any consideration. So meditation, a lot of times people feel like, oh, I'm doing it wrong and all of that. There is nothing like a wrong practice or a bad practice. As long as you are in the moment, it is a practice. So it doesn't matter whether when you're in the practice, your mind drifts away a million times. It doesn't really matter. As long as when it drifts away, you realize and you notice and you return. For a lot of people, they say the act of returning back to the present moment, returning back to your anchor. Your anchor can be, depending on the kind of meditation, it can be your breath. It can be an object. It can be a mantra or a word. It can be a chant. So that returning back for a lot of people is what they call meditation. So meditation is some sort of awareness of resting. So meditation can be accomplished in different ways, and there are different kinds of meditation. We will be looking at some sort of meditation. I think maybe a loving kindness meditation today. And at the end of this session, I will also share with you, excuse me, I'll also share with you tips and basic and simple practices that you can incorporate to your everyday life, basic practices, meditation and pranayama practices that you can incorporate to your everyday life. So what are some of the benefits of meditation and pranayama? It's really known. There's been a ton of research. I mean, a simple Google search will show you that there's been a ton of research. So it's not mumbo jumbo. It's not something that, okay, because it's affiliated to a particular culture, it's only that, and there is no scientific evidence to back that. It is a modern practice. It is a practice that is backed both meditation and pranayama by a ton of, scientific papers and research, and it's been known to be an effective tool to manage stress and anxiety. So it also helps with reducing weight and increasing overall fitness, even with a practice that is most of the time about stillness and not really activity. It also helps with your fitness. It aids your mental well-being. So your mind, it's especially with meditation, it's an inward practice. You might and you will at some point get to see all what you're feeling and all what you're sensing and all where your thoughts are. So that's the beautiful thing about meditation, is not the absence of thoughts or feelings. It is the recognition and the presence and the awareness to your thoughts and feelings. Then both practices also help fight diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. And we're talking anytime we're talking about your breath, it can come in with your cardiovascular functions and health. It can come in with your respiratory health. It can even come in with your digestive health. So depending on the kind of sequence, there are sequences that will cleanse you, that will help with your digestion. There are types of practices that will, especially with pranayama, that will help with your digestion, that will help with your nerves if your nervous system is all over the place. So knowing the different types of practice and even simply incorporating the mindfulness practices in your everyday life can help you achieve some of these things that I'm mentioning. But what I really want to double down on is that it is a practice. It's not a magic button, or it's not a magic pill that you take once and everything, it fixes everything. I won't sell you that pipe dream. It is something that you will have to incorporate into your daily life to make it a ritual and do it daily for you to harness the harvest or reap the benefits. It's like going to the gym once, or it's like taking a run once and then expecting that everything will be sorted. It's a practice, it's something that you need to do constantly. So the practice also leads you to a better dietary choices and improves your overall well-being. Because meditation and pranayama are really, really mindful practice. They are practices that encourages mindfulness, and the more you incorporate it into your everyday life, the more you become a lot more mindful of how you treat your body, mindful of how you treat yourself, whether in terms of the food that you put in your body or whether in terms of the words that you say to yourself, the things that you believe about yourself. So it heightens your awareness to things, to yourself, to people, the way that you communicate with people, the way that you show up to the world or in the world, the way that you engage with people, So these practices heightens our awareness in a way that I can't even begin to explain. So it's a practice that I really encourage people. If anyone that wants to improve their quality of life, excuse me, anyone that wants to improve their quality of life, it's a practice that I really encourage. And the beautiful thing is that it is a practice that is for everyone, every type of body, all races. It doesn't matter who you are, young, old, it's for everyone. Recently, I saw a video on Instagram and I felt that it was really funny, of this kid, it should be about 5, trying to calm trying to get the younger brother must have been 2 or 3, to calm down because he was being feisty, and he's like, breathe. And I kind of I love videos like that. Yeah, it's such a good video. I love videos like that. So so it's a practice that there is science to back up everything, and it's a practice that I really encourage people to take to incorporate into our everyday lives. And I'm going to give you tips at the end on how you can do this and different ways that you can do this. It doesn't need to be an elaborate practice. It doesn't need to be 20 hours. It doesn't need to be an hour. It can be as basic as you just taking 5 mindful, conscious breaths. So we are going to start with a pranayama practice. Just to recap, pranayama has to do with your breath. Prana is life force, your life, because without the breath, there is no life. So your life. And then Yama, has to do with focusing and extending the breath. So our pranayama practice is going to be an energizing sequence. And we will be doing 2 kinds of pranayama practices. One is called, yes, I forgot to mention one other thing. The practice, yes, Ngozi said she saw that video. Yes, it was great. It was such a refreshing thing to see. There was another video about a kid that was going to school and the mother recorded him, and the child was repeating his daily affirmation. I am great. I am amazing. I am smart. And that's another video that I really loved. So the things that you say to yourself, the things that you tell yourself also comes into play. So yes, back to the practices that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a practice. Okay, before that, I wanted to talk about, it would be extremely, it wouldn't be right, it wouldn't feel right with me if I don't acknowledge the people that came before me, the people that culturally preserved this practice. This practice can be traced to different people and different regions, but my practice, the pranayama practice and the meditation practice that I practice is from people from the Indian culture. So I want to give reverence to these people, to the Indian people for preserving this culture, and for all the other cultures that have, even in Africa, we have different kinds of pranayama or pranayama woven. It might not be called pranayama, but we have pranayama and even meditation woven into our culture. So I want to give reverence to every single person that came here, that sat here, that passed on these practices before me. And this practice is not regardless of your belief system, whether you're a spiritual person, whether you belong to a particular religion or not. You can find this practice even in Christianity, Islam, excuse me, and other kinds of religion. You can find meditation in there, and you can even find pranayama in there. So regardless of your belief system, this is a practice for all. The practice pretty much welcomes everyone. So yes, back to the pranayama practices that we'll be doing today. So we're going to be doing a practice called samavriti, a pranayama practice called samavriti. Samavriti is equal ratio breathing. So I'm going to use my hands. I gesticulate a lot, so I'm going to use my hands to show you what I mean. So equal ratio breathing. So if you're breathing, and also in pranayama, there are 4 points: the in breath, the pause, the out breath, the pause, and then the in breath. So those are the 4 points. So with equal ratio breathing, which is samavriti, what we are doing is starting at the bottom, we exhale everything out. We take an in breath, we pause, and then we take an out breath and we pause. So it's equal ratio. So the in breath is the same length as the out breath. And a lot of times we can use mantras to determine the count, the breath count, or how we inhale, how much air we take into our lungs. And as humans in the 21st century, we don't even use our lungs to its full capacity. We have a lot of us walking around, breathing shallow. So this practice kind of like, especially with pranayama, kind of like tunes you and preps you into taking deeper breath cycles. So the in breath, if we're counting, we can also use numbers. If we're counting 1, 2, 3, pause. Then out breath, 1, 2, 3, pause. So that's equal ratio samavriti pranayama practice. Then the second one that I'm going to teach today is called alternate nostril breathing, nadishodhana. And the names that I'm calling are the original Sanskrit names. Sanskrit is a script and it's a language that is that originates from the Indian culture. So nadishodhana is alternate nostril breathing. And I think nadishodhana is like my new favorite kind of pranayama. So this is, I'm also still going to use my hand. This is you inhaling, closing out one nostril, inhaling with one nostril. That your pause is the moment you use to, excuse me, your pause is the moment you use to close that nostril, and then you exhale from the other nostril. So when you close one, you open the other one, and then you exhale. And then inhale from the same nostril, you close, you exhale from the other one. Then you inhale, you close, exhale here. Inhale, you close, exhale. So we alternate between the right and the left nostril. And this kind of like balances our mind, balances our body, balances our physical body, our mental body. It taps into our it taps into our different senses, our different sides of the brain, just it balances us out. It's a really, really energizing kind of practice. So I'm also going to take a moment to show you how we will sit in this, how we will position ourselves traditionally in the nadishodhana practice. So depending on which of your hand is the dominant one, because this practice is inclusive. So for some people, it's easier for them to work with their right, or some people are, it's easier for them to work with their left. But traditionally, they use the right. But depending, this practice is your practice, so you can always use whichever hand that you prefer. So I'm going to use my right. So you bring your thumb, and then you bring your ring finger. So your thumb and your ring finger, all the other fingers, you can bring them down, your thumb and your ring finger. So your thumb closes your right nostril, and then your ring finger closes your left. So when you're breathing, you're pretty much opening and closing as you alternate the breath. Some people also like to bring the middle finger and the first finger to the forehead, the third eye, and they alternate. So that's the two pranayama practices that we're going to be doing today. I hope that is clear enough. But if it's not, it's okay. I'll guide you through. So take a moment, clear out your space, try and get as comfortable as possible. You can come into a comfortable seated posture. If you're seated, you might want to lengthen your spine, roll your shoulders up and back, and release. But you can also come into a recline posture where you're lying down. So you can be in a 45-degree angle where you recline. But the goal is, whatever posture you're using, your spine is long and straight. So I'll give you a moment to get into a comfortable practicing posture. You can close your eyes or lower your gaze. Whatever feels right to you this afternoon. Allow the muscles around your face to soften, unclench your jaws, and with every out breath, relax your shoulders. Allow yourself to come to a moment of stillness. Allow yourself to arrive here and now. And take a moment to notice. Notice how you're feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally. Bring your awareness to your breath. Notice your breath without necessarily trying to change anything. Not yet, just notice. And now gently begin to draw in conscious breath cycles. This can look like you just really being aware of your breath and consciously breathing in and out. Breathing deeply in with every in breath. Fill up your lungs. Take your time. Breathe all the way to the top. And with every out breath, empty out your lungs. Now we're going to, in a moment, begin our Samavriti practice, equal ratio breathing. And we're going to do a count of 4-1-4-1, 4 in breath, in terms of the count, and then we pause at the top, 4 out breath, and then we pause at the bottom. We'll take from 4, then we'll increase to 5. At the sound of the bell, let that, or the sound of the singing bowl, let that be an indication that we are either going up or probably coming down in terms of the count. Keep breathing, stay with your breath. I'll also be here to guide you through. Empty your lungs on your next out breath. And we begin. Inhale, 4, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Hold your breath at the bottom. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. At your own pace, take the next 2 breaths. Inhale and exhale at your own pace. We'll take one more breath together. Empty out your lungs for your last exhale. One more breath here together, and then we'll go up to 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Exhale, 2, 4, 5, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. At your own pace, the next 2 breath cycles. Take one more together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. We'll go to 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause. One more time together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We count down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Take a moment to breathe naturally. This is what we call recovery breath. Breathe naturally. And while you're breathing naturally, bring your right or left hand up, bringing your thumb to close the right nostril, and then the ring finger to close the left. The other fingers can be down, or you can go for the option of bringing your middle finger and your index finger to your forehead. Now close the left nostril using the ring finger and inhale from the right. Close the right, open the left, exhale from the left. Inhale from left, close left, open right, and exhale. Inhale from right, close right, open left, exhale. Inhale from the left, close the left, open the right, and exhale. That's the flow. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Do the next couple of breath cycles alternating the nostril at your own pace. Keep alternating. You can gently allow your hands to rest, settle your palms, keep your eyes closed. We'll take a couple of minutes of meditation. And notice your breath once again. Notice without trying to change anything. Notice the quality and the depth of your breath. And begin to take conscious inhales and exhale. I invite you now to bring a word, a mantra, an affirmation to your mind. I like to picture the words or spell out the words in my mind's eye. I like to visualize the words. Your affirmation, your mantra, your word can be anything. Maybe you have a word for the year, for the month, for the day, an affirmation for the month, or a mantra. Bring this to your mind. If you don't have one, I invite you to take a moment to investigate and see what you can bring to your mind. It can sound or look like, I am strong. I can do this. I am an overcomer. I am kind. I can make it through this year. I am enough. It could be anything. Bring your awareness and focus to this word. Keep breathing. And remember, if your mind or thoughts or attention wanders away, just simply notice and bring it back to your breath and to your word, to your affirmation, to your mantra. I'll be quiet for a moment. I'll give you a moment to dig inward. Together as a community, inhale, exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. Inhale, bring your hands together, press it to your chest, exhale. This should remind you to have clear and loving intentions. Place it to your forehead, and this should remind you to have clear and loving thoughts. Thank you for joining me in this practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for that practice and for spending this hour with me. I have just 2 minutes left, so I'm just going to say one of the ways that you can incorporate pranayama and meditation into your everyday life is simply by pausing. When you realize that your mind, you can even set alarms on your phone. There are various techniques that you can do. Apple, if you use like an iPhone or an Apple Watch, there is this tool called Breathe, where it tells you, oh, you need to breathe. And it times you can breathe for a minute. So you can use tools like that. You can set reminders on your phone where you can take moments of in your day, in your busy life, to pause and just breathe. I can't even begin to explain how relevant this is to what we are going through today. So just take a moment, pause. And you can also cultivate this even when you're taking a shower, even when you're cooking. You can, once you realize or once you notice that you feel tensed or once you remember about pranayama and meditation, just pause. And while you're doing what you're doing, just bring awareness and focus to your breath. And as you inhale, exhale, watch it. I like to visualize my breath when I'm in the middle of something. So I visualize a cup of water. I imagine that with my in breath, I'm filling the cup of water with water, or the cup with water. And then with my out breath, I'm either drinking it or pouring it out. So that way you can lengthen your breath. So you can practice equal ratio breathing. Is the most common and basic pranayama practice that you can incorporate into your life. Equal ratio breathing, you just breathe deeply, you pause, you exhale deeply. It can be 5 breath counts every hour or 5 breath counts, even if it's once a day. And then the meditation practice, I have more tips and more information on meditation itself and the practice on my social media handle, which is at Mike Ernest at MIC. I'm just going to type it into the chat box at MIC Ernest. You can also send me a message if there are questions, because my time is up. You can, if there are questions, if there are concerns, or if you need guidance, please feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram. I'm also going to type my email here. Yes, so that's my email. So you can send me a message, you can Instagram me, Instagram DM me, you can reach out to me. There are also various tools, and I have like on my platform like meditation, and there is a platform called meditate.africa on Instagram where we share meditation. It's been a moment since we posted content on there, but there are so many good resources there where you can practice with different instructors from all over the African continent. That's the most beautiful thing about it, because all instructors, I was able to bring all of these various instructors to lead meditation practices, from Ghana, from Cameroon, from Morocco, from Kenya, even people outside of the continent but are of African descent. So thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, you can pause in between. And of course, when you're breathing, remember to relax the muscles on your face, unclench your jaws, and just relax your shoulders. Any part of your body that you feel is tense, just at that moment when you remember, when you breathe, whether you're setting an alarm, whether you're going to, however you want to weave it into your day, just remember to pause and breathe. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is Michael once again, and thank you so much, AFRICANXT team, for inviting me here again. This has been really amazing, and you have been so graceful and patient with me. And thank you so much, even with my allergies and all of that, you all stayed with me to the end of this session. I'm so grateful, and I thank you for sharing your time and your energy with me. This was really fun, and this was amazing. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I can see a question here. I think I can quickly touch on this question. Can you shine light on guided meditation? How can you maintain focus during meditation? So how can you, I'm going to start from the second one. How can you maintain focus during meditation? A good way to maintain focus is by using your anchor. Remember, I talked about the anchor, where your anchor is the thing that keeps you rooted, the thing that keeps you rooted in the present moment. And the most common anchor is your breath. You can always return back to your breath because you're inhaling and exhaling in the present moment. So when you lose focus, like I said, it doesn't matter if you lose focus 1,000, 1,000,000 times. Once you realize that your mind is somewhere else and not in the present moment, not with your anchor, just be kind to yourself, notice where your thoughts went to, and then come back to the present moment. So you can use your breath, you can use mantras. There are mantras. I like the Satnam mantra. Satnam mantra. With Sat, I inhale. With Sat, I exhale. With Nam, it could just be I am light. With I am light, I inhale. I am light, I exhale. So you can use different different ways to focus during meditation as your anchor. And then the other question, can you shine light on guided meditation? Guided meditation for people that need guidance. So for people that it might be tricky for them to just sit and, especially for beginners, and do meditation on their own. This is where guided practice comes in, because you have someone like me right now that I guided that practice. The first half was the pranayama, and the second half was the meditation. So you can use that guided practice to achieve your mindfulness meditation and all of that, or to meditate. You can use a guided practice. You can also meditate on your own. You can use music to meditate. You have various tools that you can use to meditate. But for guided practice, sometimes some people prefer a particular sense, a particular voice, whatsoever brings you centered, whatsoever doesn't distract you, is a good place to start when it comes to guided. So if you're starting out with guided practice, you can experiment with, different voices, different teachers, different meditation teachers, different kinds of meditation itself, different kinds of, because they are different kinds of meditation. There is the meditation where you visualize, there's the visualization, there's present moment meditation, there is awareness meditation. There are different kinds of meditation. So finding what works for you, whether it's a guided practice or whether it's, a practice that you do on your own, finding what works for you is really key as well. So thank you, Anonymous, for this question. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Fanny. Thank you, Kenneth. I really appreciate it. So remember, you can shoot me a message on my pages if you have more questions. So I will end this chat now or end this live recording now. Thank you, everyone.